When it comes to parrots, is bigger better? Why is it said that once you get a big parrot, you don't ever go back to having just small parrots? Hey guys, I'm KAILANI, the author of the Parrot Bliss Bond. I have over 20 species of parrots. I love my parrots. They're my bliss. If you want to get parroted out and you want to hear a little, because you can't really talk, but I do want you to post about whether you think bigger is better or not. This is a matter of opinion, but it's a common opinion. Today I'm going to talk to you about why some people think bigger is better, or what's better about bigger and what's better about not bigger. If you know that this is KAILANI, my Catalina macaw, you're in the same place. Thanks for being here. I love you guys. Are you stretching? Stretch that leg. Let's get squawking. All right, so is bigger better? Here's the thing. Parrots rock. They are so intelligent. You've heard that before. Now, what you may or may not know is that intelligence means that you could say they have a greater ability to develop a personality. I don't know how true that is exactly. There is a lot of truth to it because they can problem solve. They can practically tell jokes. Some of our African greys, like especially the males, have been humorous. I think my husband thinks that Zeus, our African gray, has a better sense of humor than I do. Gee, thanks. Anyway, the thing about a big parrot is, in some ways, they're just bigger and more in your face. So it's harder to miss when they do things like that. They have more ability to have an opinion. And it's a lot harder for you to argue against them. You know, little birds bite. It's not that they don't. Little birds have personalities. It's not that they don't. It's just that a little bird can't get away with doing stuff like that near to the degree that a big bird can. A little bird can't come over and get your attention and groom your hair quite the same way a big bird can. A big bird, in a way, is just a little more like a person, and they can tell you more of who they are, what they want, how they want to do it, when they want to do it, and how you are supposed to do it all for them. Am I getting that about right? Huh, KAILANI? Hi, KAILANI. Now, when it comes to it, big birds are just as trainable as small birds. Small birds are just as trainable as big birds, at least in my experience. They really do all have personalities, but it's just so much more personal. One of the things that I'm going to generalize and say is, generally speaking, while a macaw would be living in a flock of, what is it, like 20 macaws, KAILANI would have one bonded partner. And so, you know, cockatoos live in flocks of 20,000 in Australia, but they don't have as intimate of a relationship with the whole flock. One reason for that is because now a bird like this does have to worry about predators, but you can see where macaws, for example, are said to be intimidating to people and often rule the roost, so to speak. So in other words, KAILANI's safety and security is not dependent upon the whole flock the way, for example, a budgie's is. Budgies really, in a way, have to have more of that hive mind because they need to stick with the whole collective to safely and securely outmaneuver that hawk that's after them while they're after getting their water, their food, that kind of thing. So that means KAILANI, because she's a little more secure, because she's a little more intimidating with that monstrous beak, what are you doing? She's like lunging at me and then pat me. See what I mean? More of a personality that's pronounced and it's hard to miss. So she doesn't have to worry so much about the safety and security kind of thing. She can rely on the fact that her size alone, like, keeps the cats from ever coming to her. The dog doesn't bother her. Whereas my little birds, they have to, like, if they see a cat, they freak out, and as well they should. So that means Kailani can focus more of her time and energy on lunging at me and then asking me for a pet. So then she's like, oh yeah, I was just grooming myself. She's like a cat that way, you know, I'm grooming myself. Hey, now that's a little harder. Don't groom me like that. She's grooming me. Okay, all jokes aside, you can get a sense of the difference. Now, does that mean bigger is better? You know, on the one hand, what it means is that bigger is just, let's say it's more focused, more able to focus on really developing an ability to beat you up in this. Where's my bird? Where's my bird? That's what you say, right? So that's some of what the advantage is when they're bigger, and that's why some people say bigger is better. It's really just hard to miss. It's just, you know, it's like a bigger dog versus a smaller dog. I'm not saying I have a small dog. We have a small little Chihuahua, and she's little. But when we had a bigger dog, it's different. It's really, really different. And I do think it's more pronounced. What is a smaller bird like? Is that better? We'll find out tomorrow when we do a video with one of the small birds. Thank you for joining Squawky and I, also known as Kailani, the Catalina macaw, in this blissful feathered lunging, biting, asking for pets. We're going a little psychotic. It's a transition period video. If you want to know what a realistic parrot is like, you're in the right place, right? Please let me know if you have a big bird, a small bird, which you prefer, what you think. I'd love to hear what your experience is. If you have a big bird, you can tell me whether or not they lunge at you. If you consider an Amazon a big bird, my Amazon doesn't lunge at me. This, like I said, we're going through a transition phase. She's working out some psychological issues. We're gonna take her, I'm joking, to the birdie psychologist, right? Thanks for joining me. I'll catch you in the next feathered video.